subscribe or no soup for you. Welcome. Welcome to Bear Clooney Watches channel. For those joining me for the first time, thank you and welcome. I am Bear Clooney, Bear who loves watches, and on my channel I usually search for perfect timepiece. I will most likely never find it, but search itself is a lot of fun, and occasionally I address different topics and subjects from this great world of watch hobbyists. So if you would like to be part of it, please subscribe. You will also be helping a genuine watch enthusiast channel exist on YouTube. Now, let's go back to the subject of this video. As you could see from the introduction, today I'm presenting a true horological icon. IWC itself as a company proudly stands among the Swiss watchmaking giants. And they managed to put out, in my humble opinion, two iconic timepieces, which is the Pilot and obviously this Marine Chronograph, which is on my wrist today. So for those that know me a little bit longer, either on a personal basis or from my Facebook group, Horology Talk, or on this channel, you know that I am very much attracted to the story behind the watch. And this watch is definitely very historical. Practically, it's unaltered since it was introduced 20 years ago, and rightfully takes its place in the pantheon of contemporary icons. I love the story behind it also because it kind of starts with these two Portuguese merchants, which were also the sailors, navigators, Rodriguez and Teixeira. I don't know if I am pronouncing their names right, but my friend Anastasia might help me with it. And these two gentlemen basically came to the IWC manufacturer in Schaffhausen with an unusual request. They wanted the high precision marine chronometer in a wristwatch format. So this resulted in the creation of a large, very legible stainless steel watch equipped with a pocket watch movement and fitted with the hand-wound caliber 74, which was slightly modified to become a hunter movement. So this legibility originally is still in the DNA of this watch. Also, the leaf-shaped hands. You know what? Why don't we jump into a short slide presentation in which I can kind of address the history of this watch. So it started with the reference 325, which was impressively large for those days, measuring 43 millimeters in diameter, when most contemporary watches measured under 34 millimeter. The style of the watch was eminently functional with a focus on legibility, breaking with the prevailing trend of the overly designed Art Deco watches. The key elements of the design were simple Arabic numerals, ultra-thin, almost non-existent bezel, leaf-shaped hands, and a functional minute-second track. All of these design elements have stood the test of the time and featured in a modern version of the IWC Portugueser. And then when we get to the hand-wound caliber 74, which was slightly modified to become a hunter movement, so the crown could be positioned on the right side of the case. We are entering the period between 1939 all the way to 1993. And the IWC Portugueser is in a short supply during this period. Only 304 pieces were made with a caliber 74, and 371 pieces with the evolution of this movement, the caliber 98, and its subsequent version, caliber 982. Bottom line, during the 1970s and 1980s, the watch was sold exclusively on the German market, and many thought it was the end of the Marine Chronometer. But situation will change very soon, and in the 1993, the IWC Portugueser makes its big comeback for the 125th anniversary of the brand with the Jubilee reference 5441. It's a Jubilee edition. This is now a 42 millimeter watch produced in 1,750 pieces, 1,000 in stainless steel, 500 in rose gold, 250 in a platinum. And this was extremely faithful to the original reference 325, which we started this with. So this is caliber 9828, which is evolution of the calibers 98 and 92, and the true comeback of the IWC Portugueser as a consistent collection is about to happen, and that occurs in 1995 with the introduction of two very important watches. But you know what? This version of 5441 was basically important because it's a first established item from IWC that presents itself in a form that is there to stay. And this movement 9828, which is evolution of the previous caliber 98 and 982. So to go back to what I was saying, now the true comeback of the IWC Portugieser as the consistent collection occurs in 1995 exactly with a 5240 reference, which is actually a minute repeater produced in 550 pieces, 50 platinum, 215 rose gold, and 215 yellow gold, with a repeater mechanism fitted on the hand-wound caliber 95. Even though it was a highly complicated model, this watch retained a classic look for the Portugieser collection. And we can see the signature elements that lead to the probably most important reference 3712, which is introduction of the Portugieser chronograph Rattrapante. Rattrapante is a split-second function on the chronograph where you can basically stop the chronograph with the 1 second hand, and then the other second hand continues. It's a very cool complication. But here we see the watch, which is predecessor of the watch we are presenting today, with a clear indication what this watch is all about. This is a glorious example. And then simplification comes, and we have version 3714, and that's exactly the iconic piece that I'm presenting today, which is now standard chronograph, that shares this design of 3712, which is now simplified and carries all these elements that are signature elements for the brand: the leaf hands, the Arabic numericals, the very thin bezel, everything that makes this watch very elegant. I mean, this is kind of the path we take from 325 all the way to the 3714. And this is why this is iconic timepiece. So you get the idea. You get the idea why I feel that this watch has such a interesting heritage. Now, let's not waste any time. People are already telling me my videos are too long. Let's jump into Bear Clooney's studio to take a closer look of this beautiful timepiece. Let's go. Here we are at Bear Clooney Watches Studio, taking a closer look at this beautiful IWC Portugueser chronograph, reference 3714. So here we have Marine Chronograph with a stainless steel case, 40.9 millimeter in diameter, 3-bar water resistance. As you can see, dial is silver. It has a gold leaf-shaped hands, which are certainly a signature of this brand and actually this line of the watches. The dial, while the chronographs remain to be one of my favorite horological genre, we have to admit, some examples can be cluttered and difficult to decipher. Thankfully, when I'm looking at this watch, it combines two loves of mine and two passions of mine when it comes to watches. In the aspect of the legibility of the dial, this watch is a very clean dial, very legible, even though it is chronograph. So it kind of communicates with its wearer with a superb lucidity. Leaf-shaped hands gracefully point to these beautiful applied gold Arabic numerals, denoting the time. The elongated arc-like profile of the hands with their narrow pointed tips exhibits an exquisite form. Beyond their elegant posture, the hands prove highly functional, conferring easy read-off and contributing to the overall legibility of this beautiful chronograph. Now you will notice that chronograph hands, let's engage the chronograph. Beautiful, smooth function. You will notice that the hands for the chronographs are blued. So we have matching hands on the minutes and the second hand, easily pointing to the chronograph function and making and adding not just aesthetics to the nice aesthetics of the watch, but to the legibility as well. So what do I like about this watch? I like the balance, the symmetry of the watch, besides obviously previously mentioned heritage, history. I'm talking now more about specifics when it comes to the aesthetics. I like the bicompax layout with its snail subdials arranged along the north-south axis, bestows an equilibrium to the dial composition. A 30-minute chronograph registered is positioned, as you can see, below the noon, and partially cropping the hour markers presented. Some people don't like that. Me, I actually find it kind of charming, kind of part of the complex approach, part of the flow on the dial of this watch. The small second is equipped with a hacking facility, allowing the wearer to pull out the crown, and it will hack. Pausing the running seconds hand and synchronizing it with the reference clock by pushing it home. And then finally, a sense of harmony once again pervades the layout of this watch with the text applied adjacent 3 and 9 o'clock. The words IWC Schaffhausen are positioned on the left-hand side of the dial, while on opposite, chronograph automatic is proclaimed. The case, part of the success of the IWC Portugueser chronograph 3714, can be attributed to its modest dimensions. The case measures 40.9 millimeter, which is popular among the watch enthusiasts. It's a not very thick watch. It is 12.3 millimeter, suiting a broad variety of wrist sizes and making it more wearable. I really like the back of the watch. I like this combination of mixing the surfaces, having this combination of a high polish and it just looks beautiful. I find it very attractive. And the movement on this watch, it's a caliber 79350, powering this chronograph. The self-winding movement is based on the ETA Valjoux 7750, which can be a little bit loud, but it is heavily modified by IWC. And I accept that the watch is not in-house movement, but I am not a movement snob, so that's not something that necessarily bothers me a lot. I think that even this ETA Valjoux 7750 is legendary and perfectly fits the watch of iconic status as this one. Why don't I show you this watch on my wrist so you can get a better idea on the wrist presence of it. And here you can see the watch on my wrist. My wrist is 7.25 inches, and you can see how the watch sits and looks on the wrist itself. I think it's a quite contemporary size, and I love the way it presents itself. So why don't we go back to Bear Clooney's cave and wrap up this video. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. At the end, I just want to thank you for support of this channel. I've been on YouTube almost a year now. On January 20th will be actual 1-year anniversary. I appreciate everyone that contributes with the comments, with likes, with subscriptions, with sharing my videos, and providing me with the feedback. I invite you to continue this journey with me, and once again, all the best to all of you.